Hello, not sure where to start this exactly, but apparently I've been tagged, so that means I need to do a video telling you about 3 things I enjoy outside of the hobby. So I thought I'd better do it really. Twice I've been tagged, so that was Palmer at Heresy Productions and Sean at Shauno's World of Figures. So thanks very much for that, chaps. I'll take that as a compliment, but it does put some pressure. So hopefully my duty's discharged by recording this video. Yeah, I've never used the camera on my face before, and it's really weird trying to, for some reason it makes me look really cross-eyed because my eyes are drawn to one side for some reason, but I can't seem to work out to get them straight. But anyway, yeah, if you can excuse that. My eyes do look ahead normally. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how this sort of thing started. I've been off work and not using YouTube for a couple of weeks. I'm sort of trying to catch up now, but suddenly all these videos appeared and people are tagging each other. I'm not sure exactly where it started. I tried to follow it back through. It looked like Rusty at Hellcorrex nominated Gary, and then I followed back through Rusty's channel, and it goes back a couple of people beyond that, and then I kind of lost the thread. So I haven't seen how it all started, but from the videos I've seen, if I've understood it correctly, the rules are pretty much, I tell you about 3 things I do outside of the hobby, and then I nominate 3 people to do the same. Hopefully I've got that right, and apologies if I've misunderstood, but that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, where to start really? There's lots of things I sort of discounted. I played a fair bit of board games, but that's all quite similar to the hobby. I mean, a couple of other board game, Commands and Colours, if anyone's come across that. I play sort of the Ancients version and the Napoleonic version. I'm in a couple of leagues playing online for those. I don't really take it competitively, but by being in the league it means I'm guaranteed a game of each per month. A friend I know sort of set it all up a couple of years ago, and I've joined in. He's got sort of people he knows all around the world, so I'm sort of playing with people in Belgium, people in America, so yeah, Canada I think as well. So it's all quite good fun. Guarantees me a game a month, and they're all a really nice bunch of fellas. So yeah, been enjoying that. Play a few other board games as well. Off to friends this afternoon to I think play some board games. My wife enjoys them too, so yeah, we'll play some games with them. So I haven't included too much about that. Drinking, I don't think I should really be classing as a hobby. I think that the day I call that a hobby is the day I have to admit I have a problem, so we'll steer clear of that. So yeah, pick 3 other things that I really enjoy and really spend a fair amount of time doing. So first of all, in no particular order, I picked running. I'm a really keen runner. I used to play a lot of, when I was much younger, I used to play a lot of football, and then I had quite a bad injury. Tore all my ligaments as I was sort of turning around to chase the ball. My studs caught in the floor, and most of my body turned around, but the bottom half of my leg didn't, so I sort of tore everything. So I had a couple of operations to put that right, and I've had various operations since, 6 or 7 now, so quite pain in the arse really, to be honest, but it's over the space of about 20 years, so there's plenty of gaps in between. I'm not going to complain. I know there's people out there with far worse problems. But yeah, it meant I couldn't play football anymore, so I started running instead. It is still an impact sport, which probably isn't brilliant for my knee, but at least I'm not going to get studs caught in the floor, and no one's going to kick me. So I figured that was a much more safe thing to be doing, and yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I had a really good run between about 2010 and 2017, where I didn't need any ops, and I was doing really well, running loads of lots of 10Ks and half marathons. I did a couple of marathons as well. About 3 years ago I did my second marathon. That was brilliant. Really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, it's just a really nice, I've always enjoyed sort of keeping active, trying to keep a little bit fit, and yeah, I'm not getting any younger, but I'm still managing to keep it going. At some point I guess I'll have to give up, but we're still battling away, and yeah, really enjoy it. It's a great thing to do. I can go out, quite easily go out for 2 or 3 hours at a time and just run. Brilliant way of yeah, just losing yourself in your thoughts really. It sounds boring, and but once you get going, your mind starts ticking over, and you can actually solve quite a few things in your head, get a few things straight. It's really quite therapeutic. Good to get the fresh air as well. Very lucky to live in a sort of fairly rural area, so I've got lots of nice country lanes and things to go and get lost in. It's yeah, it's a great way to spend time. and try and keep interested and keep the motivation going by doing a few races along the way. Actually, 2 years ago, I had an operation that meant I had to take about 12 months off, which was a pain. But I'm back into it again now, and I've got my first 10k race next weekend, actually, which I'm quite looking forward to. If that goes well, I'll start trying to get back into the sort of longer distances and maybe start with the half marathons again in the new year. They tend to sort of start in the sort of January, February time. You get loads of half marathons around. So if all goes well and he's still held together, then that's the plan, I think. So yeah, running's the first thing. If my editing's right and up to scratch, I'll stick a couple of photos in now and I'll pause it. If that worked, you just saw a couple of photos of me running for what it's worth. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, second thing, sport again, I'm afraid. Watching capacity this time rather than partaking. Love football and cricket, always have done. I must admit I've gone right off the Premiership in recent years. Money and the hype has just made it a bit nonsense for me. To be honest, I still watch Match of the Day every week, but I haven't watched any live football for ages. I used to watch loads of live games on the telly. But I am an avid follower of my local club, Gillingham, playing in League One this season. I've been for the last couple of years. We sort of bounce up and down the bottom two leagues generally. We did have a little spell in the Championship around 2000 to 2005, I think. Which was interesting. Got to go loads of new grounds I haven't been to before. I used to go to an awful lot of the away games. I don't do that so much these days, but I still have a season ticket. I've had for about 25 years for all the home matches. So it's every other Saturday during the football season. That's where I tend to find myself. Really lucky. A couple of very good friends, really good friends, very old friends. Have been going for as long as I have. We always meet up in the pub about 12 o'clock for a 3 o'clock kick-off. So, yeah, it's a social occasion as well, so it's really enjoyable. We've found, to be honest, that watching Gillingham is always the most pleasurable of experiences. So if you go in with a couple of drinks inside you, it makes it slightly more tolerable generally. And, yeah, but that's another hobby, I think. Yeah, really enjoy that, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. As I say, don't expect to win every week. We're not a very good side generally, so I go with no great expectations, and I'm not overly disappointed when we lose. I can take it or leave it. The other thing, sport-wise as well, I guess this could count as a third hobby really, but in terms of supporting local sport, I'm also a member at Kent Cricket Club. So during the summer, I tend to go and watch. Don't tend to watch much of the 4-day cricket because that tends to be during the week and it clashes with work. But I go to all of the 1-day and 2020 games, which I really enjoy. I normally go with my dad to that. He really enjoys the cricket as well, so it's good to do that with him. So we're actually in the sweet spot at the moment of the year where I've got the tail end of the cricket season and the beginning of the football season. So there's lots and lots of sport to watch, which is great. And on the cricket front, I absolutely love watching England as well. Used to go and watch a lot of games, don't watch quite so many now. It's starting getting really, really expensive. You're talking to go to Lords or the Oval now, you're talking over £100 for a day of a test match, which when you throw in all the extras, the price of the drink in the ground and food and everything else, it starts getting pretty expensive. And my wife was going with us as well, so we were ending up, two of us spending £400 or £500 on a day out, which you can't do too often. So, but still avidly watch that. I absolutely lived the 1-day World Cup earlier in the summer. Yeah, I watched so much of that, and it was absolutely brilliant to see England win it at the end as well. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, Ashes today, so I'm recording this video now. Got about 10 minutes till that starts. So yeah, fingers crossed. It looked like we were gonna get blown away yesterday, but yeah, we've kept it interesting a bit. I'm sure we will lose today, but hoping for the best. We'll see. So yeah, that's the sport that I watch. The other thing as well, really into music, particularly sort of rock, heavy metal kind of music. Not really heavy metal, sort of thrash metal. gets a bit lost really. I quite like the beat, but yeah, soon get bored of it if you try and listen to an album. So something a bit more tuneful. Reese was talking the other day about sort of Led Zeppelin. I used to be massively into Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, all the kind of 70s rock stuff. Absolutely brilliant. There's been lots of good stuff since as well. But there's one particular musician or band that I really got into in a big way, and I've stuck with that for like 20 odd years, more like 25 probably, to be honest. Started years ago when I was at university. I was about 21, 93 I think. And mate came home, he was into the same sort of stuff I was, and he had a CD with him and he stuck it on. Said, have a listen to this, and it blew me away, to be honest. I've never heard anything like it. It's music. It's a very personal thing, obviously, but some things just really tickle your boxes, push all your buttons, and this was it for me. It was a band called, this was the album. I got that the wrong way around, so I don't know if you can read it, but yeah, the band is called the Wild Hearts. Absolutely phenomenal. Amazing album. They followed it up with, very shortly afterwards, with another album. The title, you probably can't read it, but the title is spelt P-H-U-Q. There was a big debate around whether that's was fuck or fuck you. Nobody's said to this day, but just an amazing album. Pretty heavy in places, but lots of good underlying choruses and hooks and tunes thrown in there as well. Just really catchy sing-along stuff. The band has, over the years, is back together again now, going strong. Might come to that in a minute. But yeah, they've had lots of hiatuses along the way, lots of drug problems, mental health problems, everything's gone awry at various stages. Lots of bad luck, lots of shooting themselves in the foot. But it's a hell of a story, and they've, music-wise, has been phenomenal over the years. They come back every now and again, record a couple of albums or an album or two. Always amazing. And the main man behind the band is a guy called Ginger. He's officially changed his name now to Ginger Wildheart, I think, and by deed poll. But yeah, he's the main man who writes everything and drives the band along. And he's done all sorts of solo stuff, so much solo stuff and side projects, and I've followed those along the way as well. So I've got about 2 shelves of CDs just full of his stuff. He produces so many songs, so many albums. Absolute genius, I think. Amazing lyricist, and performer. All sorts of problems along the way, as I say, drugs, mental health, everything else. Proper rock and roll, story. But music is just outstanding. If I've seen the guy once, I've seen him over 50 times now, definitely. Probably not too far off the 3 figures over the years. A couple of years ago, I managed to see him 10 times in a year, which I thought was pretty impressive. And I think I've seen him so many times. A few years ago, for my 40th, I went to New York. He was playing 3 shows in New York. A couple of different shows with the Wild Hearts, and then a solo show, and we went over there and saw all 3 nights in New York, which was pretty special. So yeah, it's just an amazing musician, amazing band. So much stuff they've done over the years, but he's come back strong recently. The Wild Hearts have got a new album which was out a couple of months ago. Give you an example of the guy's productivity. In the same week, I also got through his brand new solo album, we released at exactly the same time. It's called The Pessimist Companion. Absolutely amazing. That's a lot more folky, country sort of album, but just brilliant. A lot of acoustic stuff on there. I did actually post a few months ago. I posted a couple of acoustic videos I took at one of his shows. So if you really want to check anything out, scroll back and you can see there. So it's yeah, brilliant, just brilliant. This album, it's called Renaissance Men. It was actually recently voted, I don't go a lot on polls, but Classic Rock Magazine voted it top rock album of the year so far, which was pretty special. So yeah, just an amazing band. Love the music, and that band just ticks all the boxes, and the guy always have done. So yeah, I think that's my 3rd hobby.